children, how are you all? Hope you all are doing good. So in the last class we have already started the chapter Asia, a land of contrast, is it? So in this class we are going to continue the chapter, okay? So now we are going to learn some of the which are the major rivers of this Asia, okay? So the rivers of Asia is a land of mighty rivers. So the majority of all these rivers flow into these oceans. Okay, so the rivers of Asia are thus the rivers of Asia can be divided into 4 groups. So the majority of the rivers, all the rivers flow into these oceans. So it is divided into 4 groups. So which are they? The first is Indian Ocean River System. The second is Pacific Ocean River System. The third is Arctic Ocean River System, and the fourth is Inland River System. So now first we will learn about the Indian Ocean River System. Okay. So the major rivers of this groups are, so we will see which are the major rivers of this Indian Ocean River System. Okay. So the Tigris and the Euphrates of Syria and Iraq flow into the Persian Gulf. The Sindhu, the Ganga and the Brahmaputra of India and Pakistan rises in the Himalayas and flows southward in the Indian Ocean. Okay, so these are the rivers which are the Tigris and the Euphrates of Syria, the Sindhu, the Ganga, Brahmaputra. So all those rivers, okay, the Sindhu, the Ganga and the Brahmaputra of India rises in the Himalayas and flow towards the south to the Indian Ocean. So next we'll come to see the Pacific Ocean River System. So this includes the rivers of Amur. It is in Russia. Huanghe, Qianjiang, Yangtze and Xinjiang of China, which drain eastward into the Sea of Okhotsk, the Yellow Sea and the China Sea respectively. So these are the seas which are included in the which flows towards the Pacific Ocean. Next we'll see the Arctic Ocean. So it includes the rivers of Yenisei and Lena, which are the 3 biggest rivers of this group. So which are the 3 biggest rivers? It is of Yenisei and Lena, which are the 3 biggest rivers of this group. Okay, so these rivers rises in the central highlands and flow northwards towards the Arctic Ocean. Okay, so these rivers flow northwards towards to the Arctic Ocean. So next we will see the inland river system. So the major rivers which drain into inland seas are the Volga and the Ural, which flow into the Caspian Sea. Okay, so the Volga and the Ural, it is the major rivers which flow into the Caspian Sea. The Amu Darya and Sir Darya, which flow into the Aral Sea. So these are some of the rivers which are flown, okay, which are flown to the oceans. It is divided into 4 groups, the rivers which flow to these oceans. Okay, so it is Indian Ocean River System, Pacific Ocean River System, Arctic Ocean River System and Inland River System. Okay, so next we will see the agriculture of Asia. So agriculture is the important and major occupation of the people of the Asia. About 3/4 people are engaged in agriculture. Okay, so most of the people in the Asian continent are engaged in agriculture. Okay, so agriculture products accounts for a major share of Asia's export. So there is a close relation between the river system and farming in Asia, because agricultures are mainly practiced in river basins. Okay, so the agriculture are mainly practiced in river basins due to the reason because there will be a fertile soil and water supply. Okay, so agriculture are mainly practiced in the river basins. And the farmers use hand tools and animals for cultivation. Okay, so for the cultivation, the farmers mainly use hand tools and animals for the cultivation of crops. So in many Asian countries, most of the farmers use hand tools and animals for cultivation. They follow intensive farming, irrigation farming, dry farming, plantation farming, mixed farming and shifting farming. So what is this intensive farming? In this intensive farming they use pesticides, okay, for the growth of the crops. So this is called as intensive farming. Irrigation farming. Irrigation farming means they use different types of, you all might have seen the sprinkling irrigation to water the crops, is it? So they use different types of irrigation facilities. So it is called as irrigation farming. And dry farming. Dry farming is without irrigation, without water, the crops are grown. For example, grapes. So these are called as dry farming. Plantation farming. Plantation farming is mainly used for the growth for the profit purpose. Okay, so they are done in a large vast area. So that is called as plantation farming. Mixed farming. Mixed farming means in the same field they use different types of crops are grown. Okay, so it is called as mixed farming. And the shifting farming. Shifting farming means it is they grow the crops in a short span of time. Okay, so they in a short span of time, and again after some time they grow another crops in that field. So these are the types of farming which were practiced by the farmers. Okay, intensive farming, irrigation farming, dry farming, plantation farming, mixed farming and shifting farming. So the major staple crops are rice and wheat. Okay, so the rice and wheat were the chief staple food crops of the Asian continent. Okay, and most of the world's natural rubber and tea come from Asia. Okay, so the major crops including this rice and wheat, they have rubber and tea also. It is come from Asia. Indonesia, Malaysia and Thailand are the top natural rubber products. Okay, Indonesia and Thailand are the top for the natural rubber products. The leading tea producing areas are China, Indonesia, India, Malaysia and Thailand. So the leading tea producing areas are China, Indonesia, India and Malaysia and Thailand. So these are some of the crops which were grown in the continent, Asian continent. So next, if we are coming for the climate, see, Asia is a very vast continent. Okay, it extends from the equator to the polar region. So Asia has wide variety of climate also. So it has the coldest land, which is called as polar, and hottest areas, central and southwest, and they have driest land and also even the wettest land also. So there is a variety of climate. Okay, so wide varieties of climate. So temperature, it varies. The temperature of this continent varies from one region to the other region, from one season to another. In January, the southern countries are less cold. Okay, during the January season, the southern countries are less cold, but the northern countries experience bitter cold. Okay, in July, a greater part of continent is hot. So during the month of July, the greater part will be hot, with the exception of northern Siberia. So most of the rainfall in Asia is caused by the summer, southwest monsoon. Okay, so the rainfall is caused during this continent is by the summer monsoon. A warm, moist winds, but the monsoons do not reach the central part of Asia. Okay, so these monsoons will not reach the central part of Asia, but which is dry throughout the year. So the central part of Asia is always dry throughout the year. These monsoon will not reach the central part of Asia. Okay. So the winter season, the period from October to March is winter in most parts of Asia. Isn't the period from October to March is the winter season in most parts of the Asia. And the summer season, the conditions are reversed during summer. It starts in April and ends in September. Okay, so the summer season will start from April and ends in September. So most of Asia has high temperature and it causes low pressure in Central Asia. Winds therefore blow from the sea towards the land. So the winds always blow from the sea towards the land. They cause heavy rainfall to most parts of Asia. Okay. So next we will see about the natural vegetation. So natural vegetation of Asia is closely associated with climate. But other factors such as landforms, soil and interference of human beings. Okay, so there is a great diversity in the vegetation. So it can be divided into 7 major types as follows. The natural vegetation can be divided into 7 major types. So which are they? The first is the tundra vegetation. The second is coniferous vegetation. The third is temperate grasslands. The fourth is desert vegetation. The fifth is monsoon forest. Sixth, equatorial forest. The seventh is Mediterranean vegetation. So these are the 7 types of major types. Okay. So first we will see what is this tundra vegetation. So this is found in a narrow belt among the Arctic coastal areas. This belt, okay, so this tundra vegetation is mostly covered by snow. So here this tundra vegetation is mostly covered by snow. So plant growth is limited. Okay, so there is the plant growth is less here and restricted to mosses and lichens. Okay, so most of the plants which grow here in this areas are the mosses and lichens because this area is fully covered by snow. Next, if you are going for the second is coniferous forest are found to the south of the tundra. Okay, so this coniferous forests are found to the south of the tundra and it is also called as taiga forest. So this coniferous forest is also called as taiga forest. Okay, taiga forest. In this coniferous forest, fir, spruce, larch and pine are the common trees which are found in this coniferous forest. They are softwood trees. So these plants are softwood trees. Next, the third is temperate grasslands. Temperate grasslands are found mainly to the west of Central Asia. Okay, so these temperate grasslands are found mainly to the west of Central Asia and in a fringe of deserts and semi-deserts. So we can find these temperate grasslands in the fringe, in the area of deserts and semi-deserts. So the low rainfall encourage low growth of grasses. Okay, so as in the deserts there is low rainfall, is it? So the low rainfall encourage the low growth of grasses. So we cannot find the grasses there because there is no rainfall. Next it is desert vegetations. Desert vegetations occur in tropical and temperate deserts of Asia. Example, Arabia, Iran, Thar desert, etc. Only some thorny plants. Okay, so in the desert area, what type of plants we can find? It is thorny plants, right? So only some thorny plants, bushes and poor grass grow here. Near the oasis, date and palm trees are found. So oasis is what do you mean by oasis? It is a place where water is found in the desert, is it? So only a thorny plants, bushes and poor grass are grown where the near the oasis, date and palm trees are found. So next is monsoon forest. So monsoon forests are found in South, Southeast and East Asia. So these forests are found in the South, Southeast and East Asia. Since this region has high temperature and sufficient rainfall. Okay, so this region has very high temperature also and it has sufficient rainfall. Okay, forests grow here. Okay, so in this where monsoon forests are grown because they have, in this region we have high temperature as well as sufficient rainfall. So in these forests we can find the trees like teak, sal, banyan, bamboos, sandal and many varieties of hardwood trees. Hardwood trees means very big types of trees are found here. They shed their leaves in autumn. Okay, so they shed their leaves in the autumn season. So next, the sixth one is equatorial forest. Okay, so they are mainly found in East Asia and heavy rainfall areas of the monsoon lands. They are evergreen and trees are quite tall. Okay, so in this equatorial forest, it is mainly found in East Asia and heavy rainfall areas. Okay, so these are found in the heavy rainfall areas of the monsoon lands. So here we can find very tall trees. Okay, quite tall trees. So trees like mahogany, ebony, rubber, bamboo and rosewood are the main trees which we can find in the equatorial forest. So next, seventh is Mediterranean vegetation. It occurs in Southwest Asia. The important trees which are grown in this Mediterranean vegetation are olive, figs and oak. So they are short trees. Shrubs are also grown here. Okay, so in Mediterranean vegetation we can find very short trees and shrubs also grown here. Okay, so some of the trees are olive, figs and oak. Okay, so these are the types of vegetation we can find in Asian continent. So next, coming to the minerals, important minerals of this. Okay, since Asia is the largest continent, it has a large and varied mineral deposits. Okay, so Asia is the largest continent. We can find the vast number of varieties of mineral deposits here. So the important minerals of this continent are iron ore, manganese, bauxite, coal, petroleum. So these are some of the important mineral deposits of Asian continent. Okay, so iron ore is the main raw material for the production of iron and steel. Manganese is considered as the most important of the ferroalloy metals. Okay, so bauxite is the source of aluminium, which is one of the non-ferrous metals. Coal is a fossil fuel mineral of plant origin. So China is the largest possessor and producer of coal. Okay, so China is the largest possessor and producer of coal. Petroleum is a mineral oil and a very important source of power for automobiles, railways, ships and aeroplanes. So Southwestern Asia has the largest petroleum reserves which are located in Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Kuwait, Iran, Bahrain, Qatar and United Arab Emirates. So we can find the large amount of petroleum, large production of petroleum from these areas. So these countries have about half of the world's petroleum deposits. Okay, so these countries have half of about the world's petroleum deposits and produce nearly 25% of the world's petroleum. Okay, so these are some of the important minerals of Asian continent. So next, coming to the major industrial regions of Asia. So despite it is a large and rich mineral and agriculture resources, the continent of Asia is generally less industrialized. Okay, so the population, because the less industrialized, the Asian continent is less industrialized. The reason is lack of technology, capital and large population is engaged in agriculture. So though the Asia is the largest continent and rich minerals and agricultural resources, the continent of Asia is generally less in industrialization than Europe. Okay, so it is less industrialized than Europe because the reason is lack of technology, capital and most of the people, as I told you before, 3/4 of people are engaged in agriculture. So some of the areas, okay, an area dominated by industries and industrial activities is called industrial region. So the major locations, major industrial regions of Asia are as follows. So we can find the major industrial regions in Japan, China and India. So these are the major industrial regions of Asia. And the population of Asia, so the growth, nearly 4.2 billion people live in Asia. Okay, 4.2 billion people. So this is the population growth. Okay, nearly 4.2 billion people live in Asia, constituting 60% of the world's population. So Asia, so the Asia continent is densely populated. Okay, so here we have completed the chapter, children. So these are some of the information which we have learned in the chapter Asia, a land of contrast. Okay, so here is the time to end the session. In the next session we will be with the new chapter. Okay, thank you.